Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Glad you could attend. Step inside the tent, my movie maniacs, as we take a look at Dementer, a new film that is out from Chad Crawford Kinkle, who you might remember gave us Jugface, which was a great film. I loved that film quite a bit. Well, Chad Crawford Kinkle wrote and directed Dementer, which gives us the story of a woman who has escaped a backwoods cult and is trying to move on with her life and put her past behind her. She decides to get a job helping special needs adults and taking care of them at a facility. And, well, soon she realizes that the dark past that she has is going to catch up to her. And she does her best to fight off her inner demons and finally bury them, while also trying to protect those that are under her care. Dementer was a film I was a little curious how they were going to approach this. Chad Crawford Kinkle wrote this for his sister, who does have Down syndrome, and she is featured in this film as Stephanie. And you know, he handles this very well because she is not the only person on screen who is a special needs adult. And I thought it was great to have this representation in this film, yet it did not feel exploited. It felt like it was handled with a lot of care. And so I think he does an excellent job navigating what could have been a far more complicated reception film. I think he does very well navigating this, featuring these individuals, yet also making sure that they didn't feel exploited. And I think he does very well in here. And I loved Stephanie quite a bit. She was a character and a person that I would have loved to sit down and talk to. I mean, she was great on camera, and I thought she did well. Now, the woman who escaped the cult, Brandy, who is played by Brandy Edmonston, did fantastic in here. I love her character. You feel her trauma. You feel the inner struggle that she has. You feel her fear when she realizes that that dark past that she had is going to show its face sooner rather than later. You know, her drive to protect these folks that she's caring for, but not explaining herself too much because, you know, people are going to look at her weird because why are you sacrificing a chicken? You know, well, it's not a chicken, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But, you know, along that lines, it's just something that she does enjoy the job. And at the same time, she just is having a tough time getting past that trauma. So it's an interesting exploration of people who have PTSD and how they try to carry on their lives while constantly having that reminder of the trauma they have and having that creep up at the most inopportune moments, which is kind of represented here by scars that she has on her back. Yeah, I loved Katie Groshing in here as Katie. We've seen her in A Measure of Sin, which may sound familiar. We did review that a while back, and that was brought to us by the cinematographer on Dementer, Jeff Wedding. He does great with the footage that he shoots in here. You get the separation between when we're in present time and the flashbacks, and he keeps things, especially with the cult scenes, very creepy. And yeah, this film has a lot of dark elements to it. It is a horror film, a horror thriller, and you think that maybe, well, how are you going to pull it off? But he does, I think, successfully here with care, and yet still giving you an interesting story that, yeah, I mean, you know, the way it ends, but it wasn't a bad ending by any means, but at the same time, it was one of those where I'm like, really? Come on, man. You know, one of those type of endings. So, yeah, a Dementer, if you liked Jugface, if you liked A Measure of Sin, if you like those types of films, if you're curious on how they handle the representation of adults with special needs in a horror film, you'll want to check this out. I think it's done very well, it's handled well, and in the end, I was entertained and surprised by just how the material was presented. So, yeah, if you have seen Dementer, please leave your comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Again, it's an indie film that is running on a limited budget, so you're going to run into some of those aesthetics in here. But I think the story and the characters will definitely keep you interested to where you can overlook possibly some of those aesthetic things, which there are very few in here, by the way, considering the budget they shot this on. So, thank you very much. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, bells, and thumbs, and all that here onto YouTube. Reminder, we are doing an AMA July 9th for our 15th anniversary. 15 years on YouTube, and it's because of viewers like you that I am still here. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.